Retirement planning has gotten, well, it's gotten a whole lot more complicated, hasn't it? It feels like the old safety nets have all but vanished, and now all that responsibility, it's on our shoulders. So today, we're going to dive into a modern solution for creating an income stream that lasts a lifetime. It's a way to bring back that old school security of a classic pension. But first, let's just quickly set the stage here. Why does planning for retirement feel so radically different today than it did for, say, our parents or grandparents? Well, it really all comes down to the disappearance of something that used to be a workplace staple. Think about it. Back in the day, the model was pretty simple. You'd work for one company for your whole career, and when you retired, you got a pension. A guaranteed check every single year for the rest of your life. Easy. But that world? It's pretty much gone. Pensions are a rarity now, and that entire burden has shifted from the company directly to you. It's your savings, your problem to solve. And that shift, right there, creates the single biggest fear for pretty much anyone getting ready to retire. With all the unknowns, you've got market swings, you've got inflation, people are living longer than ever. How can you be absolutely 100% sure your money is going to last as long as you do? That is the question we all need to answer. Well, there's good news. A lot of people are turning to a financial tool that was specifically designed to tackle that exact problem. It's a way to basically build your own personal pension. So what is this thing? It's called an annuity. At its core, an annuity is just an investment vehicle, something you typically get from an insurance company. And its whole purpose is to do a couple of things. First, protect your initial investment, your principal, from being lost, and second, let it grow. But the ultimate goal, the whole point, is to turn that pile of money into an income stream that you literally cannot outlive. And that's the crucial idea here. The goal is to recreate that same security that a pension used to provide. It's about taking that nest egg you've worked so hard to save and turning it into a predictable, reliable paycheck that's guaranteed to show up for your entire retirement, no matter how long that turns out to be. Okay, but here's the thing you need to know. Not all annuities are created equal. They come in a few different flavors, and each one has its own unique balance of risk and reward. So let's break down the main types. All right, this table kind of lays it all out. On one end of the spectrum, you have the variable annuity. This is where your money is actually in the market. So you have higher growth potential, but it also means there's higher risk. You could lose your principal. Then on the complete opposite end, you have the fixed annuity, super conservative. Your principal is 100% guaranteed, but the growth is going to be pretty modest and predictable. And right there in the middle, you've got the fixed index annuity, which tries to give you a blend of both worlds. It protects your principal with something called a floor, but still gives you some upside potential, which is limited by a ceiling. Now, that fixed index annuity, that one can seem a little complicated, I know. So let's use a great analogy to make it super clear. I want you to think about building your retirement fund like you're constructing a giant skyscraper. The reason people call the fixed index annuity, or FIA, a hybrid is because it really tries to give you the best of both worlds. You get the potential for growth that's linked to a market index, kind of like that variable annuity, but you also get the principal protection you'd find in a traditional fixed annuity. So how on earth does it do that? It all comes down to two key ideas, a floor and a ceiling. The floor is your safety net. It's usually set at 0%. What that means is even if the stock market has a terrible year and goes down, your account value doesn't lose a penny. Now, the trade-off for that safety is the ceiling. This puts a cap on the maximum gains you can get in a really good market year. These are the core mechanics, and of course they come with certain fees or charges, so you absolutely have to understand the specific contract details. Okay, let's go back to our skyscraper. In a good market year, when the index goes up, construction on your skyscraper moves upward. Bam, you add new floors to your retirement fund. But what about a bad market year? Well, construction just pauses. You don't build anything new, but, and this is the important part, thanks to that 0% floor, you never ever lose a floor you've already built. Then, when the market gets better, construction just picks up again, right from that new higher level. And that is the magic of this whole analogy. A market downturn might put your growth on pause for a little while, but you get to lock in your gains along the way, and you never have to worry about losing the progress you've already made. Your skyscraper only ever gets taller or stays the same height. It never, ever gets shorter. So, we've talked a lot about products and mechanics and analogies.
But let's just take a step back for a second and focus on what the real human goal is behind all of this financial stuff. At the end of the day, it really comes down to this. The goal isn't just about trying to build the biggest pile of money you possibly can. No, it's about something way more valuable than that. It's about the peace of mind, the assurance of knowing deep down that that pile of money will provide an income you can never outlive. And that's the real value an annuity brings to the table. So let's wrap this all up. What are the key takeaways? First, annuities are really about creating peace of mind with a guaranteed income. Second, as you've seen, they are not all the same, and these are complex contracts, so it is vital you understand what you're buying. Third, it's good to know there are consumer protections in place, like suitability reviews, to make sure these products are a good fit. But that doesn't replace the final and maybe most important point. Always, always work with a trusted financial professional to see if an annuity is the right move for your personal plan.